Hey everybody, are you ready for some tough love for this generation of hairstylists? This video is meant to elevate the beauty industry. If you don't know me, my name is Gina Bianca, and I'm so excited to share with you some of the best tips of advice that I can give to stylists at any level in this day and age. So I've been a hairstylist for many years, and I'm currently the owner of a 30-chair booth rental salon and an educator where I teach hairstylists and salon owners and educators all about growing their business. The first thing that I want to share, if you're a hairstylist and you're looking to grow your business, but maybe you're facing some resistance, maybe you're facing some challenges and struggles, and you're not quite where you want to be, look at the lessons that are happening in your life. When you have learned the lesson will stop repeating itself. So I'm going to share with you some key things to look at when it comes to growing your business. And the first one is, if you're a hairstylist behind the chair, all you have for sale is your time and what you do with that time. I always say that reputation is what you're willing to let walk out the door. If you're doing hair, it's so important to do impeccable work and to take excellent care of your clients. That looks different for every single brand. It depends on who you are, how you portray yourself, and the experience that you promise and offer to your guests. I always share that you have so much power in the time that you're spending with your guests. So it's so important to be present, to leave all of the bullshit at the door and not bring that in so that it affects your service experience. Not only are you delivering hair services, you are holding time for your guests. Every single guest comes in and you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what they really need in that service. Of course, we're doing cuts, colors, and highlights, but some guests really need to spend time with another person. Maybe they need to share what's going on in their life. Maybe they need complete and total quiet. Maybe this is their only time they have for themselves. So it's so important to look at the service experience that you offer and be present in the moment with every single guest so that you can deliver whatever it is they might need. By spending the time to perfect your service experience and deliver a consistent service experience, this is going to build a raving fan customer base, and it's going to hold on to all the clients that you have. Another tip I want to give you is that productivity, also known as your demand, is the big driving force to your growth. So you want to strive for 80 to 85% productivity rate. You don't want to be 100 or 200% booked. You want to be 80 to 85% booked because that leaves room for a new guest, for a break, to, fit in anything you need to do to manage your business while you're working. But if you're finding that it's hard to get booked, there's a problem with your service experience. There's a reason people aren't coming back. So some tough love is to go in and dig into your service experience and find where the missing pieces are. It's hard to sail a boat if the boat is full of holes. It's hard to build a productivity that's 80 to 90%, 80 to 85%, whatever your benchmark is going to be. It's really important to hold on to the clients that you have. And ways that you can do that is by focusing on a strong pre-book rate. You can focus on delivering an amazing guest experience, and that might look like delivering the same amazing shampoo every single time. That may look like teaching your guests how to style their hair, teaching their guests how to maintain their hair, making sure they have their future appointments scheduled. I know we already said pre-book, but treating it as a concierge to make sure that they have time and space scheduled for themselves. It's so important to help them do this, and that's part of your job behind the chair. So looking at the entire service as an opportunity to grow your business instead of the cut and color in front of you is going to really help you get there. So as a salon owner, I have had the opportunity of having a lot of difficult conversations with the stylists that I've trained. So I've trained many stylists, probably at least 50 hairstylists get to 6 figures, and I trained a majority of them right out of hair school. And Some conversations are more difficult than others. So some conversations that I have to have are, your skill set is not where your price point is. And ways that I can look at that and get to that conclusion are looking at my artist's numbers. So some numbers that I focus on are pre-book, making sure that the guest has a future appointment booked, retail to total sales, making sure that my artist has recommended the best maintenance plan for the client, guest retention, new guest retention, meaning of all new guests that have come in, how many have returned within 90 days or 120 days, depending on the services that you offer. And, you know, their overall productivity. So if these numbers are not where they need to be, especially their guest retention numbers, I have to look and say, where is this artist falling short? Because every guest that I give them, they're either going to come back or they're not. So if my artist is proving with their numbers that they're not coming back, then there is a problem with the guest experience. A lot of things can happen. You know, the artist might run late and run long, and they might take 5 hours to do a simple 2-hour service. My artist might have personal things going on, and maybe bringing them into the salon and violating the guest professional boundary. There's a lot of different things that can happen, but for the most part, what ends up happening is I need to coach my artist to take models. Now, I've had artists in the past where they were brand new, they finished our training program, and then when they got behind the chair, they needed help. They needed to get more hands-on experience. So they would maybe see 10 guests a week, but of all the guests they saw, half would come back or less. Or they would get redos, bad reviews, or customer complaints. And this is always something that happens within the first 4 years as a stylist. The first 4 years are the hardest years as a stylist, and it's really hard to do alone without a mentor. So as their mentor, it's my job to catch these things and offer solutions and offer a strategy for them to grow. So part of that strategy is taking models. So I would coach my artists to take 2 models per week on their own time. They were allowed to use my product, but they came in unpaid on their own time and they did hair. And every single model eventually would turn into a guest if they were delivering an amazing experience. This is so important because if your guest retention is not where it should be, which my recommendation for new guest retention is 65%, and for existing guest retention, 80 to 90%. If your retention isn't where it needs to be, you have to build experience. And how do you build experience? You have to get models. So some artists will be like, I can't find a model. And I would say, if you can't find a model to get their hair done for free, how are you gonna build a book? And my mom gave me the best advice as an artist, as a business owner, as a young woman. She said, you need to get out there and pound the pavement. Can't take no for an answer. You have to go out and find a client. Some will, some won't. Who's next? It takes a lot of grit to build a clientele. And if you have a hard time just doing a few models a week to master your craft, you're gonna have a hard time in this career. So you really have to put yourself out there and do the work to get yourself to the next level of your career. The next thing that I want to touch on, and it doesn't matter what level you are in the beauty industry, this video is for everybody. This could be for a 20-year stylist who has been doing hair for a really long time and their growth has just plateaued. This video could be for someone finishing beauty school, or a newer artist who's struggling in the 4 years to make it work, or a seasoned artist who's looking to level up. So this video and this advice is for everyone. You just have to take it for how it applies to you, because I'm sure if you're running into these struggles, it all applies, right? So the next thing I want to talk about is finding a mentor. And I was really lucky to have a lot of mentors growing up in the beauty industry, but I didn't find my mentor by accident. Somebody didn't come up to me and say, Gina, you're amazing, I want to mentor you. That's not how it works. A really successful, busy artist behind the chair or in business is not looking around for somebody to take under their wing. They have paid help who is there to help them grow their business. And if they were to take on a mentorship role, that is a large commitment. So in order for a mentor to really be engaged with you, you have to have something to offer that mentor. So if you're easy to teach, meaning you're present, you're engaged, and you have a great attitude and you have something to offer and you don't complain, a mentor is more likely going to want to work with you. So for me, my first mentor I found when I was in beauty school, and we had a guest artist and I offered to assist. I was the best assistant ever. I worked all day, all night, and I was taking out the trash, I was holding hair, I was sweeping, and I was just there when they needed me. And I tried to think of what they need before they needed it. I was trying to think of what they needed before they needed it. So that is a really important thing, anticipating need. Figuring out what they need before they need it, because that is going to build trust and you're going to become irreplaceable, right? Indispensable. So my first mentor at that time, I found by volunteering to assist. My next mentor, it took a lot of salons to find this person, but I found a mentor who I really respected, and I asked to assist her, and I assisted her for 6 months. And I told her, like, I'm tough, I could take it. Please help me grow. I want to do what you do. And she was very tough on me. You know, she was very tough on me, and I wouldn't be the artist or the business owner I am today without that foundation. So I kind of went out and found these people. Another mentor that I found was not hiring, and I offered to work for free, washing dishes. I built her website. I held hair. I just wanted to learn and be around her because I really admired her and I wanted to work with her. And I ended up working for free for 4 months until I was hired. My next mentors were my business coaches, which are paid to help me, and they have mentored me so much throughout my career. And I have different mentors now because the journey is never over. So no matter where you are in your career, if you don't have a mentor right now, it's really important to think about who is that person that I can look to, who has done what I want to do. And make sure you have some value to offer them, and make sure that you take it seriously and do not waste their time. The last thing that I want to share with you is to take at least 8 classes a year. I've always been recommending this for as long as I've been teaching. I highly recommend finding areas that are your weak points, educating yourself, practicing, and repeating what you learn until you master it. It takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. The journey is never over. The growth is never over. There's always another level. So if you haven't taken a class in years, this is your sign to sign up for a class. I'm so grateful that I have the platform and that I have the opportunity to share this with the beauty industry. If you'd like to take a class with me, I am going on tour in 2023, and I have tons of online education and a mastermind group that you can benefit from. You can visit ginabianca.com or thenetworkmastermind.com for more information. And you can also listen to my free podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere that podcasts are found. It's called the Gina Bianca Podcast. I hope you all have an amazing day. Good luck to you. And I can't wait to hear about your successes, hopefully in Mastermind. Have an amazing day.